I was waiting for this chest to open, and then I thought, how about I make a video about the best ways to spend gems and gold in Clash Royale. I've been playing this game for 2 years now, and looking at a lot of the math, I think I've got it pretty much figured out. I'll write down the top 5 lists at the bottom of the video, so you can read them easily, but in this video I'll be reading them out loud. So when it comes to gems, a lot of ways you could spend them, and according to my math, the best way to spend them is actually to open chests in your cycle just before they're going to open themselves, but not, like this, because this would be kind of a waste of 1 gem. No, it's in the matter of that soon, after a while, you won't be able to continue rolling the chest opening. For example, like if you're going to bed, and, well, while you sleep, you want to do the 8-hour chest. Now, let's say I'm going to go to bed right now. It would be very wise to open this chest and start opening this one, because then I'll be actually getting an 8-hour chest for 1 gem. That's the kind of thing we're looking for when spending gems, to make sure that the chest cycle keeps rolling. Right? Let's say you have an appointment and it lasts like 4 hours. Well, it would be good to have one of the silver chests opening those during those 4 hours. If you have 20, maybe 30 minutes still left in a silver chest, I would advise opening it so that you could then have the 3-hour chest. Basically, you'll be getting it for the price you pay. And that's the best way to spend gems in this game, according to my math. Spending gems to continuously open chests is not a good idea. That would be comparable to, that would be comparable to buying these kind of chests, according to the amount of cards and gold you get for the gems you spent. And that would also be about as valuable as spending gems on gold, which you can always do. You can always spend gems on chests and gold like that. So it's not a good deal. So number 1, opening chests just before they would open themselves so that you can open another chest while you have nothing else to do. Now, maybe you have the certain life where you don't have that many appointments, where you might be missing out on the chest cycle. Way to go. In that case, the best way to spend chests are the challenges. I'm here in a classic challenge, and if you are winning on an average of 4 or more wins, which is like the top 20% of players, then I'm looking for my own. If you're averaging, oops, this is totally wrong. If you're averaging at least 4, then you're doing really well, and you're getting about a 4 times value when it comes to gems for rewards. So go for that. That's really good. I myself, I'm lucky enough to average about 9. I don't know if you could see this, kind of showing off here a little bit. But so for me, it's very lucrative to spend my gems that way. That's how I usually spend them. But like I said, keeping the chest side running is still your best way. You can get deals of 16 times value for that. So what's the third best way? Well, occasionally you get deals in the shop for a legendary chest for 500 gems. That's getting a card worth 500,000 golds, and for 400,000 gold for 500 gems. And that's pretty much also 4 times value. Right? So that's also good. If you're not very good at challenges, that would be the number 1 way, and you aren't concerned about the chest cycle, that would be the best way to spend gems. Get the legendaries for 500 gems. It's still a good deal. I still do it because I don't have time to do all those challenges. And of course, should you do the 100 gem challenge or the 10 gem challenge? In my experience, I average about 2 more wins doing the classic challenge, which is I get about 9 wins. Doing grand challenges, I average about 7 wins, which is still good, but in the long run, I would be making more doing the classic challenges. But I also don't like spending 100 gems on a single run, because that makes me a bit anxious, you know. So I just like popping into a classic challenge, having some fun. Okay, so what's the fourth best way? Again, the challenges are also good if you're winning 2 to 3 games. Most players will do at least that well, and that's still a much better deal than buying gold or chests for gems. So that's the fourth best way of doing that. And finally, what's the fifth best way of spending gems? Now this is a bit abstract. It's not much better than buying gems and gold in the shop whenever you can, but it's basically opening chest cycles. Why? Because occasionally you'll have really big chests which take a long time to open, and then you're pretty sure that during that time you won't be missing out on opening any chests, and that's still the best way to get cards in this game, is basically having this running. So those are the top 5 ways of spending gems. What about gold? Well, we first have to consider what the value is of gold. Basically, you spend gold for cards and leveling them up. Now, leveling up is obviously the first and best way to spend gold. Let me look at my decks. As you can see, none of my cards are maxed out, and I'm keeping some money for that because maximum costs 100,000 gold. The number one way to spend gold is spend it on cards you actually play, because the higher level, the better you're going to be doing in the and ladder. And what's the second best way? Well, I would say the second best way to spend gold is to make sure all your cards are tournament level. And if you look at my collection, you'll see that all my cards are at least tournament level or +1. 2 reasons. First of all, if you do a challenge, you might want to play other cards. It's nice to have them at tournament level. And second of all, with the clan, you have the clan war, and quite often you'll be playing with cards you need to level them a little bit in order to actually play them perfectly. So I try to make sure all my cards are tournament level at least. So I would say that's the second best way of spending gold. Now, what's the third best way? Well, occasionally you will get a deal where you spend 10,000 gold for 20 epics, and that's a very good deal. Epics are, in my opinion, actually worth more than 500 gold, because it takes forever to get max. I've been playing this for 2 years, and by my estimate it takes about 3 years to get epics maxed. So yeah, buying them for 1,000 gold is fine. Getting them for 500 is of course even better. I would argue that epics you don't play are worth 500, and epics you do play are worth 1,000. So that's the third best way, getting epics for 500 gold. And in case you're wondering, yes, you should still sell your epics in guild chat. Why? Because everybody should do it. If everybody does it, you're basically giving each other lots of money. If it's not a bad deal getting 500 gold for an epic, and if nobody sold their epics, we would all be missing out on a lot of gold. So sell each other the cards, and yeah, try to make a lot of money selling your epics. You can always buy them later for a little bit more. Okay, so what's the fourth best way to spend your gold? That would be buying legendaries you want to play. If you have your cards maxed, and I should open my next chest. Here we go. Want to take a peek? Probably crap. 76 gold, 60 gold on commons, and 100 gold in rares. Oh, yeah. So that's a pretty good silver chest. Sorry for the flare, by the way. Yeah, the fourth best way is get legendaries for 40,000. The ones you play. Around, and this is my experience, after you start getting your cards to about level 12 and 13 for commons and level 10 for rares, you'll notice that yeah, you have money to spend, and you don't know what. Well, legendaries are definitely worth 40,000. I'm not going to get this one, though, because I don't play Lava Hound. I'd rather save my money for the log, which is probably the most played legendary all round. And I'm saving up here to get to level 4. Lecture Wizard also pretty popular, but log is the only legendary spell, so that's always going to be the most valuable. And finally, the last way to spend gold in the game would be spend it on epics you play. Well, I don't play Baby Dragon that much, so I won't bother with that. But if I come across a prince, I'll definitely buy it on the spot. It's worth that 1,000 gold. So that's my top 5 ways of spending gold in this game. If you don't agree with anything I said in this video or have any questions, you can feel free to leave a comment. And I hope this helps you. And in case you're curious which deck do I like playing the most, well, you saw it most of the time. I like this deck because it's very all-round. It's probably the least spicy deck imaginable. All the cards are pretty, I don't want to say they're simple, but they didn't do anything really weird. It has 3 spells. I like having a lot of spells in my deck. I can't stand swarms, so there's a lot of anti-swarm cards in here. And I just like playing with a giant. It's the most all-round win condition. There are a couple of hard counters, that's true, but not as bad as other win conditions. So yeah, that's my favorite deck. I've been playing it for about 4 months now. And the poison and giant combo for a long time has been my go-to way of playing. The Mega Million came out later, and that was always a nice friend with the giant. Sometimes I'll switch these guys with the bowlers and musketeers. But this is pretty much the gist of it. Sometimes I'll put in lightning instead of zap. Okay, well, good to have you, and free Palestine.